Hi everyone, my name is Desiree and today I would like to talk about something that many people don't, and that is what are the components that create a successful homeschool? So the other day I was in deep thought and I was like, most times you just hear people talk about this is what I do in my homeschool, you can do this, but it might not work, it might work, and it's just confusing. And the reason why they're saying that is that they're not presenting to you the principles. But today I'm going to give you the principles that I see will create a successful homeschool. All right, let's get into it. So principle number 1 is understanding how your child learns. That is the foundation of your homeschooling because, of course, you're homeschooling because of your child, right? But a lot of times we're not intentional about that. We'll do like me. For instance, I got this book a while ago, and I think about 4 years ago, and I had several other books that was all about kids from different countries because I have a passion for that, and I love different languages, and I just wanted to, share that passion with my children. Well, I read it to them a couple times, but they weren't that fascinated in it. And recently I brought the books out again and I say, out of all the books, can you guys please show me which one, for sure you want to get rid of? And every child picked that book. And, I should have got rid of it a long time ago. But that's what we do as parents. We take on resources or we get this puzzle or this or that, hoping that our child is going to like it, instead of just focusing on the way our child learns. Now, this brings me to the second principle, which is being an effective teacher. Now, I'm not talking about you having to have an education degree. This is all about knowing how to teach effectively. Meaning it doesn't matter if you got a basic book from the library or the most expensive curriculum. You should be able to present that information in a way that your child can learn. Okay? So, that means you're going to have to take time in researching and learning different methods and ways to teach reading or math or things like that. Or maybe your child learns best through experiments with science, or maybe they want to do nature studies and walk outside and things like that. But you have to understand, again, the first principle, how your child learns, and then be able to present the information effectively. Okay. And when I also in teaching, it's all about pivoting until that light bulb goes off in your child's head. Now, this is going to be dynamic because as they learn, as they get older, the way they learn and then different subjects, it can change. So it's going to take, going to take a lot of time. Like homeschooling is not easy, but this is what I have found thus far. Now, principle number 3 is all about focusing on skills over intellectual facts. The skills I'm talking about are communication. You can add financial literacy, but that's not a huge one. But communication and helping your child to develop their learning style. And I'm not talking about auditory visual. I mean like their true learning style. Focusing on those two skills are key to their success throughout life because, of course, we all know that no matter what job you're in, whether you go to a job or you have your own business or you're a stay-at-home parent, you need to know how to communicate effectively and not just verbally or written. It could be in a musical form. It could be over film. It could be drawing. That's all forms of communication. And of course, even in written ways, there's multiple different ways to write. There's multiple different ways to speak. But your child needs to develop those skills. And the same goes for understanding how to learn. If they have that skill, if they have built up that muscle of knowing how they individually learn, you're not going to have anything to worry about for them later on in life, no matter what path they take, because they're going to be able to obtain the information that they need and use it successfully. Now, the last principle is all about your home. Your home is dynamic. It is not a stagnant, controlled environment, which most of us are used to. And that's what the deschooling process is. But a lot of times I feel like people focus so much on the actual small components of school, like, okay, you're in school for this many hours, or your teacher is in front of you, or you're getting worksheets. Like, yes, you got to de-school from that, but you need to de-school from the expectation that you're in a controlled environment and everything is academics. You have to de-school from that. Now, that's one that I recently thought of to myself. We just moved here. I have 6 kids. My youngest is 1, and then right above her is a 3-year-old. And yes, they're distracting like most kids. And like I said, we just moved here. My husband works from home, so we got to stay quiet. It's a new house. There's still stuff in boxes. But at the same time, I'm like, we need to keep on getting this train moving. You know, I'm trying to teach my older girls their reading so they'll be at the level that they need to be. And I just thought to myself, like, wait a minute, let me just focus on being consistent. And this is what I mean by the dynamics of our house. We have to just stay consistent. So I told myself I'm only going to spend 15 to 20 minutes with each child every day. And my last principle, as you can see, is dynamic. It changes, right? So because of that, I told myself I'm going to only spend 15 to 20 minutes with each child and just try to stay consistent. So it's all about building up that muscle of consistency when it comes to homeschooling, because you're going to have so many different changes that you don't expect. But if you are thinking that it's going to stay controlled, that's where you're going to have a downfall. You're going to be burnt out. You're going to be frustrated because, yeah, things change. At least in my life, it does. And I think it's inevitable. You're different people. Even if you stayed in the same house, your kids get older. You have different interests. All types of unexpected changes happen. Now, of course, you can plan for those changes. But again, these are my principles that I have found will create a successful homeschooling. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it very useful. I am going to create a series of how to homeschool, and this is actually the first video. So come back later, and until next time, bye-bye. Say bye.
Bye.